good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to this session, yet another session of inspiring conversations. And, of course, true to every beginning, I will talk about why I'm doing this inspiring conversations. It's all about creating conversations that really matter. We are diving into ways to connect deeply, break down barriers, and build moments that inspire trust and growth. Whether it is with your team, at work, or in your everyday chats, we will bring more positivity, realness, and impact into every conversation. And as always, I am in Iceland and I am in the town of Kópavogur where I was born and bred, and I live to the right on near the sea. Like you see that. But the my guest today is like there was something I I I have to share this because like we have been talking about and we hear about leaders who are strong with systems and structures, but the human sides feels like harder to bring in. So it made me wonder why efficiency so often feels disconnected from people. So, and then I came across my guest today, and her background is a mix you do not see every day: mathematics, opera, and leadership coaching. Precision on one side, motion on the other, and a very human approach to performance right in the middle. So it made me curious about how she brings those worlds together and what leaders can learn from that blend. So that is why my guest is here today. And so to help us explore how leaders can create harmony in both their processes and their people, I think this will be a good session. So without further ado, I want to introduce you from Slovenia, Naila Selimović.
Selimović.
Thank you. Ah! I knew I would. I knew I would fuck up your name. Sorry. Like it's just, how is it when you do that? Like why can't names be easy like mine? Like you can say my name just easy enough, isn't it?
Is it? Is it easy heading? I don't know.
Welcome and thank you for agreeing to meet with me. And you have somewhat of an interesting combination and maybe uh, would I dare say a weird one because you are a musician from the get-go, aren't you? So you have to like before we start diving into the conversation, you have to tell us like why is Naila from Slovenia like the opera singer? Why is she all of a sudden like why has she
She
flipped and yes. So
made a shift. Yeah.
yes. So
And who said I made a shift? Maybe it was
oh
always there. Just not
well
the main
let's dive
language.
into that. Let's
Yeah.
dive into that, Naila.
Yeah. Thank you, Hedin. Thank you.
So where do you start? Like where is it that did you become the opera singer first, or were you a like did you go to school and studied business and then become a like where give us a little bit of like timeline, time
Yeah.
wise, how you like how did it go?
Yeah, thank you, Hedin, for this opportunity. Um, Nothing of this was intentional. Nothing. Um, since I remember myself, I was dancing, singing, knowing letters with two, and of course adding numbers with three. And that was the combination I had all the time in myself. But as you said, it was very weird, and I for a long time, I couldn't connect those two worlds. And I really felt like what you said, weird in this world. So that was pretty much, I was like either on one side, logical side, or on the other side, like
Yeah.
music, expression, and everything. And it was like a split personality or something. And in neither of worlds, I felt like complete, whole. And that was pretty much like my internal also struggle and tension until I came to some moment when it all uh, got sense, and
Yeah,
me.
yeah, made sense. You're just like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
But which, like, because we are going to talk about lean, the like which was made in the Toyota factory in Japan. It originates from Japan.
Mm.
But which element found you first, the opera or the business? Like where did you begin, and then like what? How did you become this whole person from like having the both sides, and then in the like how did you realize like, oh, I can do both?
Yeah. I first studied mathematics, and in parallel, I was singing. That was a
Okay.
huge desire, like some lack in me that needed to be fulfilled, like music. In one moment, while studying, I also felt like I'm on some, drugs or something. If I'm not the music, I'm like, wow, So that was in parallel. But while I was studying, I also needed some money and somebody listened to me. I was learning singing, but privately. And I went to audition, passed the audition, thought I would just stay for some time, and stayed for 28 years.
All right.
Yeah.
And of course, like people do that. Like they just, some people just work in a pizza place, or some people work as a waiter. But so you decided to, like, you could make singing your passion, like it was your another passion, and then you got paid for it, and then you could pay for your studies maybe.
Yeah.
But what did your other colleagues say? Like your student, like when you were in like learning, like, oh no, I have to rush to the opera, and I have to like I'm in the chorus,
Yeah, of course.
oh I'm the lead. Like,
No, my colleagues on the study were pretty tolerant, and understandable, Like we love science here and nothing else matters. We don't interest in you. We don't have an interest in you other way. So they were not surprised or even questioned that or something. But the colleagues in opera, they were all the time, that was some of the worlds, and they were all the time like in tension and all the time like threatened by my logic and my structure that I introduced and I had with myself while working there, also in the music.
I have to say, and I have to ask you because I think you're the first one that I meet that can use both halves of the brain. Isn't that unusual? Like I'm not like I mean, isn't it unusual that you have a person who like mathematics is just like very logical, and then you have the creative side, and how like I don't think I have ever met a
Oh,
mathematician who is just like a painter or
but
what?
for
Oh,
Einstein, he was a great musician. He played violin from his early ages. And of course, he couldn't even imagine physics or mathematics or science without music. And
So
he said,
you are telling me that you are genius.
no, 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 not to not to be compared, please. Not just, also I met some conductors, that were physics, example. Also, I had some colleagues that also were mathematicians, physics, and something like that in opera choir.
Yeah. This is a fascinating combination that you have. And when is it that you then you finish your mathematics degree? Did you continue? Did you take masters, or did you are you a doctor in mathematics, or like did you go further, or did you just say, well, I'm fine, I'm a mathematician, and then like did you go further in your studies,
Hmm. No,
the
I
academic?
finished. Yes, I finished this master degree, but I don't know. I have this passion that completely overwhelmed me. Completely. I was so in music that I didn't even think about mathematics then. I was always had. I always had some parallel business and job, like some digitalization and or working for somebody like on systems or something. But my passion was music, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So that's like I'm in coaching now. I can't see anything else. So I'm so, yeah. And I can't explain that. I can't explain how it really occupies you till that amount of energy, and attention and engagement, and I don't know, commitment.
So Dr. Nia Thomas from the UK, shout out to hi Nia.
Mm,
She says maths and music is viewed as very much connected here in the UK because of the patterns and the logic
mm,
behind both. And that's true because you have to have this, it's a schematic, like music is one fourth or two fourth or blah 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 blah, like, and all of the above. And then you are always counting, creating, thinking, calculating, so you have to do it. So it's fascinating. But so then you finish like your studies. Did you go into business, or were you like an opera house manager, or did you do something in music, or did you open up a company, or like what led you? Because we are talking about you found lean, and the topic here is from lean to lyrical, finding the human voice in process and
mm,
performance. And lean thinking and opera don't usually share a stage. One obsesses over efficiency and the other over emotion. So it is like so how where on in like 28 years singing, where did you start working, and then just like when did your brain start like I need to
yeah. First of all, lean is not just such about efficiency. It's very human, very, very human.
okay,
And
yes.
yeah, so, and has this sensitivity of human beings in the process. So I love the lean concept, and for me, it's not a concept; it's a philosophy, it's a paradigm of life and functioning. It's very humane, and it's very like, sensitive in between, and that's what maybe is a lack in when we are implementing lean methodology or tools or something. We forget that part, the
Yeah.
human part, and the connections and dynamics between people, teams, organization. But to answer on your first question, how I came to lean from music, through my husband. He is like head of production and technical director or something, and he was very much, and now is in processes. So he needed a help in one company, and he just said, yes, systems, you can help me there. And I went there and set all the processes in the company, all the production documentation, all of it. And from the very zero, I didn't know anything about processes, but just like thinking in systems, and that was all. And some knowledge of technical drawings from the college or something. But then I just dived deep in that, and I was completely in.
But what, like that, this is fascinating. So did your husband have this enormous belief in you, or did he just see that the combination being a musician and a mathematic, that you could just watch something, the process, and then just, oh, because usually if you walk into a company and you say like, yeah, who are you? Well, I'm Naila and I'm a I'm an opera singer
Opera singer, yeah.
and I'm going to help you with the processes. Like when people like Mr. Selimović, are you
Completely like that. I have in my CV 28 years of opera singing, and I can't show that.
no?
It's not foundation for anything. But as you said, I think that he doesn't quite feel and sense this, nuances in using and the potential that it can bring to processes and structures and systems. But just he had such a belief in me.
Well,
I was structured at home, systemized at home, standardized my kitchen and everything.
yeah,
So for him, it was that.
using the dynamo like knives, putting it on shelves and
Yeah, yeah, of
classes.
course.
But like my first, like, and while I was thinking that your husband did that to you, like I was thinking like she must have been on the toilet for a week because like were you not stressed? Like going to a company, like yes, I'm here to help you with the processes. Like how and how did it go? Like how? But actually, literally, you must have been felt great because you would not be doing this today. So how was it? Like were you like or just
I
did
I was
you?
scared
Yes.
to death completely, to admit that, to be honest. But somehow I had this awareness that anything I was doing in my life, I did it eventually with high grade or high performance or something. So
Yeah, yeah.
I also was the one that believed in myself. Eventually, I will come to this. He is here to control me. He is here to guide me. He will show me when it's good, and how to do. And he was not. He was just, this is it. Do it. And
But
what is this? What is this? Standard or SOP for some process. And what is this?
but how was he with you all the time, or did you like? And then when you like came home in the evening, were you just like the only thing you talked about was the assignment, or did you talk about stuff, or like how could you just? You did not divorce. It's clearly like you are still
Yeah,
together, right? Like,
yeah, we are
oh,
still
you're
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that. Oh, we are divorced. No.
No, but it had its challenges, to not have this private and professional life split,
Yeah, yeah.
and a mixture. And when you come home, all of this was so new for me that I involved with all much energy with this and time. And of course, he was just asking, and where is my wife? Please, I want my wife.
It's
But you
your
also
fault.
want, yes, you also want process management. What do you want?
Yeah,
Decide.
you want the salary, like you want me to pitch in. But
Yes.
and okay, so how long was this project? Like when was it that you like okay, you knew you had something. It went well, I gathered, because you would not be still doing it. So how did you like evolve from there? From like did you just take the next assignment and then like this I did not do in the first assignment. Like, so every process for you was just a learning process.
all the
Like,
time, all
like
the
what
life.
is it? It is in lean. Like, do, think, act. No, how is it? The circle.
PDSC, yes,
Yeah.
improvement circle, yes.
Yes. So you
Dynamic,
just think.
yeah.
You go around and improve all the time and just challenge yourself. So how was it? Like, did you go into, so like, before you realized that there was something out there called lean? Like, how much were you looking? Like, did you always like, oh, I need to have this book and I have to read it, and then this book, and then all of a sudden, lean. Oh, I think I have one, but I don't see it just right now. But I have the book. So like, lean thinking. So tell me about that journey. Like, when you first encountered like the methodology or heard of it, because that it was like a, people in Europe, they were just like, what's this? So did
Mm.
you just like see the light?
Uh, I had the optimization, some kind, when I was studying mathematics, but it was optimization like of energy, material, or something. It is a
Yeah.
whole theory, and I love that. Then I love with making more with involving less. I love that, seeking for some methods to get better things with less energy. And when I first realized it was 5S or daily management system or I don't know what else, I was so amazed. What can you get from this? How can things really improve? We are all, and you also, we are all on the journey of ongoing learning. And for me, that was something completely normal to just, evolve and seek for a new learning, to expand, possibilities.
So when you when you realized, and you could, like, when you must have thought, when you found, or like you thought you found this, where you have like the opera singing, you have the creativity, you have the logic here, and then boom, you all of a sudden see something that, hmm, maybe this is a business idea.
Maybe.
So how is it when you were presenting to people? Okay, you did not tell them that you were opera singer, but maybe you could tell them that you were a creative person, and but you are still logical because you have mathematics, and then you want to introduce to them how you think, because it's not like some leaders, they are not, are they good at capture, like taking in this kind of thinking? How do you open people's mind?
Hmm. Now, a lot of layers of questions. Sorry.
I
But
know.
just,
So yes, and
just
deep. I think I'm very deep.
yeah, of course, yeah, and broad and wide in yourself.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just to remember the first one, maybe to go chronologically or some logic.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
um, how to open this and how when did it happened like this, like boom, combination of the worlds. Processes, structure, systems, standardization. But in our moment, you have a lack of something in it. Always a lack of something. Like all the technical, rigid things. And you are all the time wondering. I was wondering because I am sensitive. What's in it for this? Is this everything? And what I miss there is those connection, between people who are performing these processes. This was for me such a lack that in one moment I really touched the top, the high level, and thought, now I'm not interested in it anymore. I need something else here. I need something to connect that, to give the meaning for all of this. And when you are talking about the leaders, and they are mostly like really systems, like structure, like discipline, like rules, like standards, most of them, although we have processes and we have projects that we are working with them to involve also this like basic level, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But then we really have to bring something, some some other thing in that, all of that. And this is the soul. This is the melody of life. This is something, maybe the melody you are singing through the processes.
But to take this, what you were saying now, because you talk about the emotions, you talk about the like putting like I can see on your website you talk about like how you can put your voice to be heard, and this is something that we in this field, like I am happiness at work. How can you raise your voice without being scolded or whatnot? Because is business, is it cold? Like, is it the meaning for you to bring business into more warmth? Like, because you have to, when you want to get heard, when you have to listen to the people, when you have, like, there is no one size fits all, is it?
Yeah. And when you are
When
asking
you
this
say, when
point,
you,
yeah,
yeah, when you say to the leaders, like, I will bring you the harmony between the facts, the emotions, and how we can grow. Because sometimes you think that what is taught in business schools, in economics, in all of that these things don't have soul. There is nothing left. But you, as an employee, what do you have to give? And if you are working within an environment where you are suppressed, and then you come along and say, oh, like,
I'm not saying like this. Nobody would listen to me.
I'm saying it just came out.
I can't do that. Yeah.
No, but when you like it is this thing about like because business is serious and we are not putting any soul into it. We are not, like, why do we have to be so emotional? Why do we have to like just show up for work or whatnot? Like when you started this journey and when you start like did you tread lightly? Were you like tiptoeing? Oh, my name is Naila, and I love I am mathematician, but I love like processes, and I have this lean compo. And then you are hired. Then, oh, by the way, I also want like to take the like give people voice. And then they were just like,
Yeah. What's that?
yes. So how did they perceive that? Like, did they look at you and just like, huh?
I wasn't doing like that, you know. I'm not representing myself as what I am, like mathematician or musician or structured person or sensitive person. I just am with them, listen to them, try to understand what the pain points are, and bring this warmth with my very presence there. And maybe there is no need for this using words, I'm a coach, or I'm a consultant, or I'm a mathematician, I'm a musician. I just am with them, connecting with another human being, being sensitive for what hurts them, what where the problems are for them, and just try to warmly just offer some solutions or ask some additional questions, when they can express, and maybe we can talk about what can be solutions. So this warmth is maybe something I'm bringing in this dynamic, this interaction that presents this soul or this sensitivity, or how do you say that?
Yeah.
What music here represents.
But like because nowadays it is because you I know that on your LinkedIn page you talk about what drives you, and you are supporting leaders in cutting through the noise and focusing on what truly matters. But how is it, like, because when, for all of us who are entrepreneurs, it is the most difficult thing to sell yourself, isn't it? Like, you have to get the business so you can live, no question asked. So the people, the leaders who contact you, have they been following you for 3 years, 5 years, and then they say to you, I have seen your stuff on LinkedIn, I have seen your stuff in TV or whatever, where you are like popular, and I think you can help me, like, because cutting through noise and focusing on what truly matters, that is, because of course people get astray, like they lose sight of the light, where they are going, because they don't have clarity somewhat. And what we like in what I would do, like, it's the same, creating space of trust and collaboration, bringing, listening to people, giving people a voice, like, and 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 yes, tackling challenges with creativity. So what, like, you must be, do you consider yourself unique, or is it just because you are you, like, like, because I love you, like, you are just amazing.
Thank you.
No, yeah, because it is authenticity. Like, you are, like, this is me, and you are not hiding. Like, you are not trying to promote yourself, as you say. Like, you are just a person who loves this, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not always, I think that entrepreneurs and the companies we are selling the business, they need a title, they need a persona that
Yeah.
presents something, and presents something like I'm a project manager, or I'm a consultant, or I'm a coach. And it's not quite this esoteric, approach. don't don't
Yeah.
match the business. So I probably bring the structure there with my questions about the processes, trying to understand how does they involve, or how does they perform their business or something, and try to see where the gaps are, and just through the system, try through the processes and what's their job, what you call cold business.
Huh?
With being me, I try to put a little bit of, oh, it would look like this if we work together. You probably do the same. And it's not because we want to sell the business, because we are understanding that it's so much more behind the processes, that people are behind the processes. And if we want them to bring results, they have to understand the meaning of it, or of this, their roles in these processes, what they are bringing in this. So we have to address them. And it's not quite, directly, I'm a coach and I can help you transform or
Mhm.
something. Just being with them.
But it is nowadays we are talking a lot about artificial intelligence, and you mentioned also like that you are we have to blend the technical and the human. So how do you approach that? Like, is there should we go through the lean methodology? Because maybe people are thinking about the factory and then they stop and they have to do this. And before lean, they made only one color of a car, but then all of a sudden, with the lean technology, they could start the factory like many colors, and then they could stop and fix things and not without anything collapsing and keeping production line going and stuff. So how do we do this? Because do we tend to forget that the human mind has to be behind the technical mind, the technical stuff?
I don't know how do you feel the world now currently. I feel it like really maybe technical and cold and
Yeah.
forgetting people. Maybe I don't know artificial intelligence helps this or not, I don't know. But and lean is something, I don't know, some sort of difference has regarding or comparing with Toyota production system. Toyota production system is philosophy with people in it, and they have 14 principles with, I don't know, 9 of them directly addressing and involving people through improvement, through collaboration with partners and suppliers. So they really have it in their principles. Lean is about added value, about optimization of processes, and now it's all also needed because the change is now fast. We have to respond to the needs and requests of our buyers and customers. And this is the process has to be really cleaned from waste for us to be competitive or to do with involving in people or I don't know processes or innovation or I don't know, low costs, some strategy you have to have. But one of them is taking care of processes, and behind the processes, there are people. The biggest challenge when we are implementing lean is not the tool and the methodology itself, but the people. They are not understanding why we are doing this. And most of the consultants are not even dealing with them. And of course, lean is like 6 months, you have a project that after that, it just, if you have some manager in the company that will continue with us, it will help. But if you don't have, it will fall or something because we are not including people from the very beginning. Like in change management, we have to think about our resistance, about what makes meaning for them, how they see themselves in the company, what's the role. And now the business is so fast that most of the decision makers don't have time to think about these nuances, you know. And it's sad. For me, it's sad. I don't know how do you feel about this.
No, yeah, because I think when listening to you, it makes sense because there is so much waste out there, and there is so much time that goes to waste, and you are in a meeting after a meeting, and you don't know why you are in the meeting, like, and then you think about why I was working for the council, and there was always something like, why didn't you talk to this division? Oh, we didn't know that they were going to, like, where internal communication could also benefit from this system, because it must be also cost efficient to say, okay, we have this project. Now we have to tick the box. Who are in this? Who will be affected by this project?
Of course, always.
Whom are we going to talk to? Who is going to? And then you just tick, tick, tick. And because instead of starting working and then all of a sudden, oops, oh, we forgot this department and they are 6 months behind the project. And nobody thought about getting in touch. Like, So when you like in your, do you have any experience like where you can think about when you walked into a company and maybe the communication between the floors, they were just like non-existent, and you said this is definitely a process that we have to look at and do something about.
Mm. Yes, of course. What you said at the beginning, this mapping of stakeholders at the very beginning of each project is very important to be aware
Yeah.
who are we affected with with that change we are implementing. So for surely. And if you ask me about my experience all the time, we are still in silos, and you see that two people, two managers that lead each one their team can't make agreement about the thing that is for the benefit of the whole company, and it happens all the time. But also that's normal and human. We have to protect our results, and we are under pressure to protect our results, and we can't suddenly step out of this and say, okay, I will be generous now and consider you instead of my department. So what I saw also is leader of the team of the teams that maybe is not covering this challenge between teams and between managers. So on all levels, you have some this dynamic in like a challenge, whether we are succeed or it will fail.
Hmm. So yeah, because we have like I was talking to Malcolm Hicks last week, and we were talking about his research into dark leadership, and he thought like we were talking about leaders, but then you realize that you have all in all layers you have leaders, and they all have to talk together. But when you were saying this, I was just thinking when you the people who are working on the floor, whatever you do, you are an opera singer, you're participating in a show, you are working on the ground floor in a store, or you are in a factory. And when you get yes, we are doing this now. And then people complain that the people upstairs, always the sentence that you hear, oh, the people upstairs, they haven't got a clue how things work. So, how is it? Do you go all the way down in your work and then you go up? Like, give me a little bit of the process when you meet a new client. You have to go, like, you have to learn something about them. Like, what do you do? Are you the crazy lady with a hat, or I just
Crazy. No, I'm not mentioning opera at all. Maybe on the third, date or
I don't
something.
know why. I don't know why I see you as a like you have like a book, and then you.
No, but when you are mentioning, of course, we are there because of some of their pain
So
points.
yeah, yeah,
But we are not just, you know, we have to do analysis also to see, to observe, to see, to test some things, experiment, to see what we see. you
yeah,
know we are not quite believing there is, or we assume that something is more there, that we none of us is seeing everything, so we want to be assured for ourselves. So we are doing analysis, and then we represent what we see, and what we mean is the maybe priority area we should start if we want to achieve what they reported as a pain point for them. So we want to improve that. We want to make some change here. And when you are asking about, yes, we had some project that we covered all the layers of the hierarchy, uh, decision hierarchy. And some of them is shop floor with workers and the first frontline managers. That those are
yeah.
team leaders, or like some how do you call it, change, shift change, or something manager. So that's the first, those are the leaders that came from experts in their area. And they know nothing about leading people. And for them, that's an issue. That's a big challenge for them. And they are struggling, really struggling. And of course, about them, the first about them, they expect from them results. They don't have, they are also under the pressure from those about them and don't have time, energy, or skills to listen for the problems of those first frontline manager. So we really covered like pilot teams. You are not, we don't go with the change, all, but we choose the pilot team, and then we just cover the vertical, one vertical from the shop floor, frontline managers, then change, then production, head of production, until the plant manager. From through this is this great system, daily management system, like how the information travels through the system and how it involves, how can it raises problems and give them opportunity to be solved, to be seen and solved. That's amazing system.
Yeah. And empowering people
Oh,
who are on the floor, who like it's not like when you're a leader, when you're on the top floor, but you don't forget the people who are in the front line or on the shop floor or on the factory floor or whatever. Rap Bassi, another great listener and watcher from UK, he says, Naila, you make project management sound like fun, creating harmony between teams and achieving a melody. So you like, but you are in a sense a conductor. Like you are just like because I have never thought about it because if you're a coach, then you are getting people together. You are trying to make a psychological safety. You are trying to build trust between people. You are trying to get every voice heard. And you can see what I'm doing with my hands. Well, I am just like I am conducting. So for me, it's just like all of a sudden, yes, Naila, she's a conductor. She is just
and also I'm using my hands, all the
yeah.
time.
But it is this thing about. Have you ever encountered a leader or where you were working and they said no, like when you had gone through all the stages and they said just no, what a rubbish. Like this is not what we see. Like have you ever encountered like the wall,
Yeah,
where
that was from fear. They, and
yeah.
I felt that, that they are struggling, like expecting too much of them, and they are scared that they won't bring that, they won't achieve that. And I had some of them that just back up, said, I won't do that. And they recognized that's not for me. I'm here to execute. And what you are saying, empowering is not just a structure, is how you connect with people, how you communicate, how you give them clear instructions or feedback. How would they know they are successful in their day life or something, so it's a behavior. You have to engage yourself, maybe also the part of yourself that you was never engaged, so some of them really backed up. They said, I won't do that. But not because it's rubbish, but I don't feel a sense. I see that team is progressing, that everything is better, that atmosphere is great, that we are connected, that we are collaborating, but I don't feel that I can do it. So that's what I met.
But in your work, do you okay, there is a leader who contacts you. Do you also go and talk to the boardroom that any findings you do, are they ready to back you up?
You have to have the project team inside the company when you are doing the project. Without them, nothing makes sense. You
Yeah.
have to be, because the work is there. It's not mine, it's there. I'm bringing some systems, I'm bringing some maybe methods. And I will be with them, empowering them to use it. But the work is there. So it has to be a project team. And of course, you are reporting some results. And in analysis, the problems are just coming to the surface. You see things and you present these things. I see this challenge. I need you to make some conditions here for us to succeed in our work. They can't struggle with the process itself and themselves, with what they bring with themselves. So we have to have some kind of support, some kind of help, so our work can be in a little bit better conditions. So yes, I was bringing that. I was having workshops with team leaders. They were workers, and they were so cute, really cute, like strong men, on the machines and everything. And I had some pictures. What do you want here? What do you see here? Some funny pictures, and just bringing through the pictures, through the images, through the play, to bring what they face in their workday life. What are the main obstacles that they feel they can't perform at their very best? So we came with a list, presented that to project team, said we need somebody to support us. What will you do? How will you observe us, support us during? We need a person to be with us on the shop floor or with managers while we are working, so you can continue your work. So all kind of this support in the background.
Fascinating. But how is it? Because Malcolm Hicks, the university professor emeritus from UK, he said last week that he was working with a company and there was this dark leader. Like he was just very poor. But the company, he asked them if they could find a different environment for the person. So he was taken out of the equation. He had a single-handed, like he had a project for himself. He just with no people, no management,
Yeah.
and
No damage.
and all of a sudden, yeah, but all of a sudden, everything like it went like clockwork, and everything turned. So, do you in this, like, do you suggest that you try to figure out if there is a way, or like I know it's a very delicate subject because they hire the person, and then if you come in and say uh, all measurements show that this is not a good hire, like, but the qualification that this person has is great for the company because
Mm.
okay, but plus minus and minus sometimes, well, usually makes a plus. So like, how do you address this, or are you just like,
Of course. The team has its purpose, or the organization has its purpose, and this is the first thing we have to think about. And like a parallel thing, they working with them to understand the purpose of their existence in the organization, but working also individually with themselves, finding out what's my purpose. And maybe I'm not for this role. I don't like this role. I don't like what it brings, what it requests, demands from me. So maybe to go somewhere else. So we are yes, in collaboration. We come to this. Are you the best fit for this? Are you feeling good? Are you bringing the best of you in this role?
mhm,
And
mhm,
also the others, what do you need for yourself? Not from this man, but on the disposition, what do you need to bring best performance? So this is in collaboration, but you have to be transparent here
mhm,
because the
mhm.
whole team has to progress here to make progress.
And probably put the ego aside, isn't it? Like you have to
It's
realize that
hard. It's hard.
yeah, no.
It's not so
Are you
simple.
telling me that I'm not good enough?
Yeah, yeah, but not, of course, you are not telling
No,
like this,
no, 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 no.
You're
But
not so
people,
honest.
people like they just take things like the wrong way or whatever. But now you are living in Slovenia. Are you working? Have you been working? Are you mainly in Slovenia, or do you take jobs like in Germany or in the surrounding countries? I don't want to like be a idiot.
Yeah, not just in Slovenia. Slovenia is small, but very, very prosperous. But working a lot with Bosnia, with Serbia, Macedonia. Those are the ex-Yugoslavia republics, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
We are working a lot with them. There are a lot of international corporations there that wants this improvement, you know, want this improvement, and they are ready to involve the money in this. Not with Western countries, not this, but we're collaborating with this international company, Proaction International. They are a consult, big consultants company from Canada, also with this center in Paris. So also with collaborating with them. But
But
in
how is it?
Mhm.
But how is it? Because now you call it like you are a Slovenian. But when you were younger, then you were a Yugoslav. Like then you had all of the
Oh, are we now in politics? Maybe.
no, no, I'm thinking about the cultural, like, is there a difference between now where you have all of a sudden these, like, oh, yeah, I'm from Bosnia, Herzegovina, but like before, like in my mind, like Yugoslavia was just Yugoslavia, then all of a sudden Yugoslavia was not one, like it was eight countries or whatnot.
Mm.
So when you go between those countries, do you sense that there is a difference in their approach in business?
Yes, of course, the mentality. And it's something very interesting. I was thinking about a lot of companies from Slovenia are opening their sister companies in Bosnia or Serbia because it's a cheaper human
Yeah, yeah.
resource. And they don't take in account that the culture and mentality of the people there is completely different. And they just expect maybe that they will behave like we disciplined in Slovenia, German culture, you know, like this, you know, order and everything, but not. And so they they wait for some time and period until the situation escalate or something. So it's very important to consider the difference there, the context, different contexts, and to find the way to work there in that context with this system and disorder you are bringing. So yes, I face that in I want to say where. Yes,
No,
I
no, no,
was.
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like people
yeah,
say that we in the Nordic region we are all the same, but we are very different. So like I'm not like the Swedes but we have this bond like from before. So that is not, but we are different. We think different, la la la. But time flies when you're having fun, Naila. 1 hour is gone.
oh, wow. Really.
Yeah, I know. So Dr. Nia Thomas in the UK, she says, nice to meet you, Naila. Looking forward to following you and finding out more. And she had to head off, but like I gather that she will contact you via LinkedIn because I think that people can find you on social media, like you are on LinkedIn. Are you on Facebook?
Yeah. No, no, not Facebook, just LinkedIn, like business.
So just LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
this is the website. So that is praktisch.
Practicing, yes, the practical
Oh, I
approach
was
in yeah.
I was just like, what is praktisch clean? Yeah, I couldn't. Now I see it. Like praktisch
No, yeah,
clean.com.
yeah,
I saw something.
practically.
Yeah, I didn't understand how to say it. Well,
But you can, yeah.
I told you that we would laugh together because this is just like.
I know, I know. Thank you for this
And and uh,
funny.
and usually it's me that makes the rubbish. Like I'm just like. "Ugh." But
No.
thank you very much for this session. But I will just mention quickly that the next conversation will be next Thursday, December 4th. Think about it. It's almost like the end of the year. Christmas is coming and whatnot. So, but it will be with Rod Collins, and he says nobody is smarter than everybody, harnessing collective intelligence for a smarter future. And he has made a book that has this name, Nobody is Smarter Than Everybody. So that would be fun. Uh, Thank you, Naila. This was so much fun. And we laughed, we had fun together, and I have so much images in my head right now, but like about you, like I didn't know that I was conducting all of a sudden.
Conductive.
So
Great.
thank you for the bottom of my heart, just allowing me to talk to you and you are giving me your
Thank
precious
you.
time,
Yeah.
and people can connect with you on LinkedIn. So, but as always, the final words are: people, be curious, be interested, and be inspired, and just we need this in the world right now. We just have to be interested and get some, be inspired. So thank you very much, Naila.